So T-Bone, as a moto vlogger, what would a good piece of advice be that you could give to a young motorcycle rider just starting out? It would be this. On a carbureted motorcycle, if the gas is not turned on, you can press the start button as many times as you want to. Your ass ain't going nowhere. Hey guys, welcome to this episode of Rolling with T-Bone. If you're new here, welcome in. My name's T-Bone. I shoot motorcycle related content and any kind of content really. If you are new here, I invite you to check out a few of my videos. If you think I'm right for you, consider giving us a subscribe, like, share, comment, all that good stuff. If you're old here, welcome back. You know what's going on. Let's dive into it. Oh, welcome in, guys. Oh man, we made it through New Year. Welcome in to 2025, guys. Man, I ended the year with a cryptid episode, and I'm beginning the year freezing to death on Big Papa. Talking about 2025. We're just gonna have a regular old episode rolling with T-Bone today. Oh man, for you new guys and gals in here, don't know, this is Big Papa. This is the patriarch of the channel, which is why I chose to start out the new year riding Big Papa, and Big Papa is the 03 Fat Boy. Yeah, it's about 48 degrees out here, and I dressed up warm because I tried this gear on last week for last week's episode, and I went through all the trouble of coming in, taking it off, and I thought, man, if it don't just get down there to where I really need to wear all that, I'm not going to wear it when I'm riding. But then I got up this morning, which it's about 46 degrees right now, and I walked outside and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to put all that gear on. Oh man. But guys, 2025, here we are. We survived the 4/24. Man, how weird is it though? And that's kind of going to go into today's subject. Anyway, y'all know why you're here. Y'all saw the thumbnail. Are we really the last? What happened? And by that I mean, I'm asking, were we the last Hellraisers? Our generation, well, Gen X, were we actually really truly the last? Because I've been thinking about this situation, meaning about what I did as a kid opposed to what late birth millennials and Gen Z does as kids. Because I'm telling you, man, back in the day when we were young and teenagers, man, you were about getting you a fire car, you wanted a muscle car, you wanted good tunes on the radio. You wanted to get out and hang out with your friends in town and cruise the little town you lived in and party. And man, because my now I'll say my younger years weren't typical of what even, you know, Gen X wasn't. I wasn't even typical of Generation X. But, you know, I mean, I was a Hellraiser. Partying, you know, chasing women, doing all the bad things you ain't supposed to be doing. But then I think about what we were back then, back in the 90s. And then I have said this before in other videos and other episodes of Rolling with T-Bone, that Generation X was really the last real generation before the technological revolution. While there was technology, it was all analog, and we were very much at sometimes the birth or the before birth of a lot of technology. But yeah, man, getting out cruising and going and hanging out with your friends, and man, I remember there was a time I partied hard, and I'm not going to rehash out all my history, because if you want to know more about me, you scroll down through the videos and you'll find out. But man, I can remember I had and this is kind of getting in the vein of, I can't really believe 35 years have fell off the calendar like they have, but I can remember when I was, I don't know, probably 17, 18, And of course, I was a Trans Am man. I had several Trans Ams. But I had a couple of party vans too. I had a I think it was a 1978 or 79 short wheelbase panel van, Chevy panel van that had the 6-speed, or the 6-cylinder with 3-speed on the column in it. And I remember going through town on a Saturday night or on a Friday night or on a Wednesday night, it's just according. And man, I would load my van up and we would just take off into the mountains. And y'all see me ride in the mountains in off-roading with T-Bone episodes. Man, we would get up into those mountains and we would have us plenty of cold beverages to drink and pharmaceuticals to take. And man, we would get up in there and we'd just party for 4 or 5 days straight. You know, camp, party, raise cane, you have fun. And the older I get and the more I look at what's going on with today's generations, the more I'm starting to think, well, for one, they just don't have it available to them like we did. And that's a good thing, but I think a lot of social skills were built from those times. Meeting people, getting out, introducing yourself to people. If you seen a beautiful girl that you wanted to talk to, you would walk up to her and talk to her. Or ladies, if you saw a boy that interested you, you would flirt with him and you would let him know in some, you know, nonchalant way that, hey, I'm interested in talking to you, speak to me. And man, I'm just starting to feel like that these days, those skills, those kinds of social skills just don't exist. They're just absolutely don't exist. They're not out there anymore. Because I can remember, guys, being you know, going into town, and you know, I'd be a little bit, you know, I'd be feeling good, but I would load my van up with people and we would go up into the mountains. And you know, and I had a buddy of mine, Roger Wimpy, he would always say, man, the higher you get, the better you drive, because I would literally throw this old van up into second gear, 3-speed on the column, and we would just crawl through these mountains. Just, man, we had the radio going, everybody was partying and having a good time. There was no cares to be had anywhere from anyone. And I look at those times now and I think, man, while they might not have been healthy times, I will say that the way I live my life isn't healthy, and I would not recommend it for anybody. But taking all that away from it, taking all that out, taking every piece of that away from it, the social structure seems to have failed, man. I'm watching these videos, and you know how we do. We get sometimes down into a rabbit hole, and we start watching one thing, and then one thing leads to another thing, and then another thing leads to another thing. And before you know it, you have spent about 2.5 hours in a rabbit hole you didn't even plan on getting into. And I am not no expert dating coach. I will say that before I go into this right here. I'm not no expert dating coach. But it just seems like people are not willing today. And I could say that the feminist movement has something to do with it, but and it does. You know, women, the Me Too, we don't want to be approached. We don't want creeps. We don't want people creeping us out. We don't want people staring at us. Okay, we got all that. So it seems like the young men in this generation have listened to that, and they were like, okay, well, we're just not going to approach you at all. Okay, thanks for the advice. We'll just leave you alone. And man, the girls are not liking that. But it just seems like, you know, all those things, and these are things, guys, that I'm talking about. Cruising town, you know, gas wasn't $4 a gallon. You know, you would get in, when I first started driving, the gas stations in McKaysville would have gas wars. You know, 49 cents, 39 cents a gallon, 29 cents a gallon. Man, $10, you could get a tank full of gas and all the drinks and stuff and food, and you know, 10, 15 bucks, you were living like a king all weekend. And now it just seems like, you know, I know things have changed. But I don't think you can blame it all on feminists. I think a lot of it just has to do with technology. People are not willing to put the cell phones down, close the laptop, put the tablet down, and just get out and put themselves out there. Because I heard this one young man, and his story was, the way he believed his story that he told was that I have seen the statistics, and I'm not going to spend 10, 15, 20 years building a life with somebody just for them to cheat on me, or for them to decide they're no longer happy being married and then take half of everything that I've worked my whole life for. I get that, but then I have to, but when I hear you say that, I then have to ask another question. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Had to pull over and readjust my hood under my helmet. I do wear a hood that helps out, and it's cold out here today. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm glad I'm all dressed up. It's no windshield like on Jazz the other day when I ride Jazz. Jazz got a windshield. That windshield does a lot. Maybe I need to look into getting a detachable, quick detach windshield for Big Papa here. But anyway, I'm good for now. I had to just readjust my hood because I had a little bit of air that was able to filter in, and it was making my chin cold. But I am riding in the shade a lot too on these roads. But anyway, the question that I would have to ask then, if that is the case, did you get married because you were in love, or did you get married because you were in lust? And I'm going to be honest with you, when a man, and I can't speak for women, I'm not a woman, I can't speak for women, but I can speak for men, and when a man is attracted to a woman, and I mean really attracted to a woman, he will just about do anything. Because here's the thing we got to understand: men are visual, women are emotional, men are visual. Men are always going to go on the visual. They're going to want to see what you look like before they approach you. And that's another thing that's gone wrong in this, is that these people, and it's not just women, it's men too, will get on these dating apps or on these social platforms, and they will put filters on their face, and they will lie about how they look, and then when they meet up with somebody in person, well, you're not who I thought I was coming to meet. And well, you can't argue with that, because you put so many filters on that if you go missing, they'll never find you, because they're not going to know what you look like. sorry. But getting back to what I was saying there, men are visual, but I think men, and I'm not saying all men, look, me and our one's been married 27 years. I got a little bit of knowledge in this subject. She's my only marriage. I was 20, she was 19. We've been married ever since, our entire adult lives. But I think some men, not all again, and some women, not all women. So don't come after me in the comments saying, well, I'm not that way. I'm not saying you are, but what I'm saying is, sometimes I think they fall into deep lust. They lust after these people. They really will give up anything to be part of these people's lives until the new wears off, and then they're no longer in love. Well, no, you were never in love, you were in lust. And a man who lusts after a woman in his heart, if a woman is all that and he wants to conquer her, and I'm just using lingo that I know, guys. I'm not trying to start any kind of trend. This is just words that I know. When a man wants to conquer a woman and he has fallen into lust with her, love will never enter his mind, because she becomes a conquest. That's why you have to take your time, get to know someone. You will know immediately if you're meant to, because I knew almost immediately with R1 that I wanted to marry her. But you have to make sure that if you're going to say I do, because I think and I believe I'm a traditionalist, I am a traditional man. R1 is a traditional wife. We believe once you say I do, you did. And I had always told her in the very beginning, I'm not marrying you to divorce you, to separate from you and then get back together. I don't want to run out and have a good time with other women and then come in and say, oh, but baby, I'm sorry, we were separated, it don't count. No, we're going to be together, we're going to be married because I love you, and that's that. But I think a lot of times that gets lost behind lust. And it's sad to say that. I don't take no pleasure in saying that. But I think what has happened is that technology, along with the Me Too movement, along with men now just being scared to say anything to a woman, afraid that it will be misconstrued and he will be accused of being something that he's not. I think that men have just finally decided to say, you know what? You go be a boss babe with your $150,000 a year job and your house and your car, because men are primal. We're providers. I'm going to tell you something. As a man, I don't give a crap what you make a year. It's my job to provide for my family. So your money don't mean nothing to me. So all of you boss babes who have went out there and decided that you're going to enter the workforce and you're going to rack up big money, big houses, big cars, big fancy lives, just know that you're most likely going to be there by yourself with that big fancy life. Or you're only going to attract men, and yes, I'm about to say what I'm about to say, you're only going to attract men who are gold diggers. And yes, ladies, there are male gold diggers. We call them sugar mamas. Just like you call us sugar daddies, we call y'all sugar mamas, because there are women who are older, in their 50s, in their 40s, 50s, 60s, who will give a man an allowance every week to be her partner. And there are men who will sell themselves for that allowance. It happens all the time. This isn't, you know, this isn't new leaked technology into the 21st century. I assume that's been going on for decades. But, you know, men are primitive. But I think technology has hurt us. Now, it hasn't hurt me, I mean. But I think what I was saying about going out cruising and stuff, that's how we built social skills. That was networking for us. It wasn't done in chat rooms and in live premieres and in lives. It was, you very much had to go out there into the real world and put yourself out there. So my original question still stands. Were we the last actual badass hell-raising generation? And I don't mean the derogatory stuff that goes along with that. I'm talking about just the social skills that go along with that. Being able to meet people, talk to them, have contact with them without wanting anything back. I mean, I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, I don't have all the facts on this generation. Don't need them. I can pretty well much sit back and see what is going on and kind of draw my own conclusions about what I actually see. But yeah, man. Oh, yeah, man, guys, that's 2025, and I wanted to start off the year with just a regular moto vlog because I ended the year with Cryptid. Man, I tell you what, I hope we all have a better 2025 than we did 2024, but we're in it now. I know I didn't get the information till late, but I want to wish OC. I know OC had to have surgery. I think it was something about a pacemaker. I'm not certain. But OC, from the entire Rolling with T-Bone crew, we wish you a speedy recovery and hope that your surgery takes care of whatever your issues may be. And to anyone out there who's having health problems right now. There's just a lot of people having health problems. And of course that just goes along with life, that you get older and problems start to appear and manifest, and there just really isn't a whole lot you can do about it. But tell you what, guys, for now though, I'm gonna say we got us an episode of Rolling with T-Bone. I know that this subject might be a little touchy. Like I said, don't come for me in the comments. It's just me thinking out loud, as always. But tell you what, guys, I'm gonna shut her down and get ready to head on in. I'm getting hungry. But until the next time, guys, remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And hey, thanks for watching.